Hey guys and gals, welcome to Parks on the Air. Couple more of those questions that people have with all the volume of new folks joining and wanting to participate. Sometimes they'll ask questions instead of doing some research, and I just try to throw out some quick little answers to help people out so that when you put something on the funny book page that you don't get spiked by a bunch of keyboard warriors that get frustrated because we hear the questions over and over. So let's share some things for new people. Again, you are not being picked on. We're all new at one time to what we're doing in Parks on the Air. And you get to hear some basic questions answered, hopefully that'll help you and not hinder you in any way. So let's start with a simple question. The yellow dot, what does it mean? Is that where I got to operate from? No. The yellow dot is a localized pin that tells you where the park is located. First thing, remember, the park boundary can go for miles and miles and miles. And you can activate anywhere within that based on your availability of, we'll say, privacy or trees or facilities if you're looking for that, or picnic tables, or anywhere you can activate. And one of the things you may wish to consider is don't make yourself a spectacle. In other words, don't sit out with flags and banners and draw attention, because some of our local rangers may ask you for a permit and want some funny money and make your life miserable. Second thing, do some research on your park if you're going to go to a park, and look how large it is. Maybe take a map, go to a website that talks about the park, and get an idea what you may run into. But the yellow dot is just a centralized location point only. Now, since we're talking about parks and we're talking about activators, a twofer. What is a twofer? That's where two parks overlap. Not, N-O-T, not, I repeat, not, but up to each other, but actually overlap each other. Again, a good activator will take the time and try to pull up the maps to see what the boundaries are. And you'll find that they overlap each other. That is a twofer. Let's talk about the trailheads. A trailhead is a trail that goes either from one side of the state across 14 states. But when you operate on that trailhead, that means 100 feet, not 105. And not, well, they won't know I'm here. Sleep good is all I got to say. If you got to cheat to play the game, please don't work me, because I don't like cheaters. I really don't. And I don't work them either. But the thing is, it's 100 feet from the trail. If you're sitting at, we'll say, an exhibit, and you're 90 feet from the road, which is the trail, then you're in the book. You're good. But you have to remember, everything that we do is all based on an honesty system. As a hunter, you're going to hear activators that are at 2 or 3 parks. Trust them that they say they are. And again, you're going to have cheaters. There's the cheaters in football, basketball, golf, any sport or hobby. There'll always be those who break the rules because they think that's going to get them something. What goes around comes around. Karma will get them, I assure you. But If an activator says that they're at that park, trust their word until they prove to you that they're not. And when they become untrustworthy, don't work them. Don't give them an opportunity to go out and have fun. You might find they're the type of operator that don't even upload their logs. So that just gives you a little idea about that yellow dot on that map, hunters, or the yellow dot on that map, activators. It's just a central point. You can go and drive through that park area, that wildlife management area, wherever you're allowed to go to. Now, activators, here's a question that comes up quite frequently. Well, the gate's locked, but the park is got a parking lot, and it says right there, according to the map, that that's the park. You can activate in that parking lot. They may have the gate locked for reasons, security at night, etc. If you see a sign that says the park is closed to the public, that becomes a little different story. See, that's where you have to look at the gray line. And again, remember, some people don't know how to read. But based on that, if there's a parking lot there, great. I'll give you another example to think about activators, not necessarily hunters. And I'll even use a park. Avisboro is a park. But Avisboro also has a cemetery. Avisboro Cemetery is not in the park. It is a privately run cemetery. So running at the cemetery parking lot area, you are not in the park because that's privately owned property. But if you'll go probably a mile away from the cemetery to the parking area of Avisboro, where the sign is, where the big oak tree is, you are there. And here's a funny thing. You might see the farmer waving at you as he or she is tilling the field, because right behind that park is an open field area that is farmed, that is owned by private property. So that explains that a little bit more. Now, as an activator, many times we hear, and as a hunter, we hear almost all of the call. But the band died. It just was zip and gone. Write down what you hear. Many times as an activator, if you'll go to the spotting page, you might have missed that one letter, or you think it was. And some people don't like this, but let's be honest. We can't control propagation. We know we heard the contact. We know we heard my call sign. We know we heard a partial, but some lid keyed up or a lightning strike. So there are means to verify what we thought we heard. Now, activators, do not do this trick. There are some DX stations that will spot you, give you a signal report, but you never even tried to work them, because what they're hoping for is for you to put them in their log so they didn't have to work. I shouldn't say that, but that's how some of them do it. One of the things Parks on the Air has allowed us all to do is to go out and have fun. Go out and have fun, honestly, the honest way. If somebody gives you a fried egg and you said cheeseburger and you hurt each other, you had a contact. And you're going to hear crazy things. When I operate, I call people by their name. I heard their call, I wrote their call, and I call them by their name. Did I make a contact? They answered me back. Yes, we made a contact. See, Parks on the Air is not based on a 5.9 or a 5.5 signal report. That's just a means for us to confirm that we did actually work somebody. Whether they give me a 5-1 or a 2-2, it doesn't make a difference. If I heard what I got, I write it down, I know it, it's good in the book. Simple, cut, and dry. Do you want to do it that way? You're in control of your activation. Contest time, hello. Field day time, hello. Are you guys and gals that are brand new activators? Are you ready for this? Get yourself into a park. Go to a POTA park. Hello. Get yourself into a POTA park and do it this way. You can take your device if you want to. But to work the contesters, remember, the contesters do not care one diddly squat about your park. The contesters don't care diddly. They're looking for your signal report and proper exchange. So sit in the park. You don't have to tell them nothing. Work them, log them, put it in, and just go from one end of the band to the other end of the band. Guess what? Go back, do it again. One end of the band to the other end of the band. Now you want to change bands. Now you want to go to another band. And go have fun. Log every one of them. Have a 200, have a 300, have a 400, have a 500 contact day if you stay out there long enough. Remember, everything that we do as activators or you do as hunters is a hobby. You're not going to get a prize. Nobody's going to send you any money, honey. But you can make the achievements happen by not being so gung-ho when somebody says 3 operators and you only heard one because the other 2 are peeing or cooking dinner or studying. We have some families that homeschool their children, and they do operate. And you will hear all 3, all 4. I'll give you an example just so you know. When I worked KN4, VKX, VKY, VKW, KJ4, VLF, yeah, I get her call right. That is a family that homeschool their young boys, and the wife is a nurse. And when they work me, they will let me know if they do not have all the family members. Another family, Whiskey 8, Echo Romeo Romeo, has a large ham radio family. And because we know them, we have activated with them. Not me personally, well, I'm using James as an example and many other folks that have met the family. When they say, all but James, all but Rachel, that activator knows who those people are, and they all are at the same house at the same time, and they're going to do it that way. There is nothing wrong with that, hunters. So take a chill pill. If you don't like that, just don't work the activator. But don't slight the activator for having fun because they're making legitimate contacts with known people that are there just saving time. Now let's talk about the activators in time. You hunters have it made, and I'm being facetious when I say that, sitting in your home and the porta potty is not so many feet away. Your restroom is right around the corner. Your refrigerator, your beverages of choice, etc., are right there. And some of us activators get to pee in the woods. Okay, we have to take bug spray. It's a new aroma of fragrance that follows us wherever we go. And sometimes we get so sweaty and hot, we smell like we should have took a shower 2 hours ago. The chiggers, they get around your waistband, on inside of your shorts, or down by the socks, down towards the ankle, and they start nibbling, and you really don't notice it until you leave the area after it's too late. Oh, QSB, all of us are suffering from that right now. The signals are up, the signals are down. Then you have those people who, when somebody is calling for QRZ, that means I'm listening for you, and the folks all start piling up on top of each other. If an activator says November Charlie station, the November Charlie station only, the Whiskey Charlie, that isn't what they asked for. So be courtesy. Listen to what the activator is looking for, and you'll get into the activator's list or pile up. Learn the activator's style, and I'm going to share with each and every one of you who don't know me that when I work a list, I'm taking a list. Give me your call one time. I'm writing down. Go watch my videos on how I log on paper. It's not the best way in the world, but I like it, and I grew up that way from the 70s. So if I'm taking a list, give your call. But remember this with me, first is last, and last is first. So your 1,000 watts in the beginning may get you in the front of the pileup because that's the first thing I heard. But you'll probably be the last person I call because of how I do it. Every activator has their style, hunters. Activators, each one of you have your own style. There's not a book of Hoyle. There is a code of conduct all of us need to follow. There is a proper procedures knowing if we're in a twofer or a threefer. If you're in a government building, and let's talk about some of those folks in D.C., and I'll just pick on D.C. area. Some of those buildings, you're going to look a little strange, and you're going to get visitors from people. And it might be the kind of visitation that you really don't want. Our hobby is fun, and a lot of people don't like what we do when we throw an antenna up or we put something on the ground or in a tree or inside a building. So be very respectful of those areas. There are several of us that have activated different park areas. And online we can share some of those points, but that doesn't mean it's the only place. Lastly, safely, this month, a year ago, I lost a personal friend. And Trip was going to meet us out at 10406, along with Mark, N4MQU. Trip raised his antenna up at a park that was new to him. Trip struck some electrical lines and passed on. I hate to leave this as the last part of this video, but no matter how good any of us are, when we are in a new area, look up, shut up, look up, and look to see what's around, especially wires in the sky that's not your control. Electricity could create an issue for you and everybody else. The loss has been very tremendous. I know Mark and I still deal with it. We have our own ways of trying to handle it. I try to share some of the things with folks that will listen to an old man because my time is short. I'm looking forward to going, and when I go, hopefully you'll look back in life and say, well, that old man was right. But I don't want to be right. I just don't want you to end up doing something that could cost you and your family a lot of hardship. So thank you for joining us. If you've lasted this long on my videos, again, you don't have to like, you don't have to share. I'm not there for that. I'm out for having fun. I'm promoting having fun in the hobby. Don't make it such a perfect thing that you take the fun out of it because, well, I didn't know if that was a C or a D. Write down what you heard. You call the shot. And remember, amateur radio is a hobby. May God bless you one and all. November Charlie 4, X-Ray Lima. I hope to hear you on the air. Let's go create some opportunities for operator to operator 73.